Okay, family, welcome to another episode of FBA All Day. I am the Lord Eric Steele, coming to bring you some more information for the family here. Again, this channel is not about hate; it's all about justice for our people. I've been away on a little hiatus for a time period here. I've been dealing with a lot of personal loss, a lot of members of the family being relegated on to ancestor status. And I do appreciate all the emails, all the concerns, and I have received your questions, and I'm right back into the swing of things now, bringing you that heat. Today's episode is going to be Skinfolk Spotlight number 14. Skinfolk Spotlight episode 14. Today's recipient of the spotlight, who we're shining this light on, it brings back a throwback from last year. We did an episode on the African scam. I believe that was in August of last year, where I explained to you the games these people were trying to play on us. I explained what they were going to try to do. There was a lot of people saying I had it wrong. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, they can't do anything like that. And as you see, it's exactly as I said it was. They tried to do exactly what I said they were going to try to do. But today's Skinfolk Spotlight is going to shine on the Ghanaian president, John Dramani, the goofball Mahama, Mahama, and his disrespectful position here. Here in New York, we had a visit from him. He came here. He got with the usual suspects as far as the agents that we like to point out. Sharpton was there. He got with the mayor of New York. These people who consider us to be less than. They think they're smarter than us. They want people to be perceiving them as the leaders of our people, but they're not. Foundational Black Americans do not recognize Al Sharpton as no leader. He's not a leader for our people. He's not a spokesman for us. None of that. As far as we are concerned, the grassroots FBA family, we consider him just an agent who's been put in place by the dominant society. He holds no official capacity in our ranks. We don't respect him as no leader. I don't, especially myself. And nobody that I know of that I can think of in the FBA family, when you speak of leaders, they don't bring up Al Sharpton. We don't consider him a leader of ours. Okay? So let's put that there. But the Ghanaian president decided, out of all the scholars we have here, he went and dug up Al Sharpton. So that should tell you right there where his position is among us, where we consider him, because we see through this Ghanaian scam. Okay? Now, I want to get specifically into this scam, and I want to talk about the specific things that he was talking about. Okay? So, Goof Mahama, he said in his speech, he said that he wanted to talk about reparative justice. Reparative justice. Now, we have to take these terms and break them down, okay? Repair, reparations. Reparations is for repair. What are they? The reparations are for what harm is it repairing? It's for the injustices that happen specifically to foundational Black Americans on this land. On this land, the United States, is what we, the foundational Black Americans, are seeking reparations for. Well, why do you say it specifically like that? Well, let me make this clear, because I have a lot of people ask me, well, reparations is for everybody, which is nonsense. Reparations is for all Black people. This could be true that there are reparations due to a lot of different Black people in a lot of different places, and that's fine. But they should be seeking their reparations from the people who harmed them. They should be, okay, I'll give you an example. The blacks in the Caribbean diaspora, the blacks of the Caribbean diaspora, they have a group called CARICOM. That's who is seeking for reparation and reparative justice for that group of people. They should be seeking for reparations within the confines of their group, CARICOM. They have combined their little nations, their groups of people, and they're under this umbrella of CARICOM. Okay? They don't include us. They've never included the foundational black Americans in CARICOM. Not once have they included us. When they're seeking for things for them, they don't include us. They don't say for the people of the Caribbean and the foundational black Americans. They never include us, which is fine. The African countries, there's 52 of them if I'm not mistaken. They have a whole continent, and they have something called the African Union. They could be seeking for reparative justice from the people who have harmed them specifically. Britain, France, the Arabs. There's so many people that's wronged that continent over there. That's where they should be pursuing their justice. They never included us in that before. They never included foundational black Americans in their talks. They don't mention us at all. They hadn't mentioned us at all. Okay? The real harm that's been done to us here, and the way that our people, the foundational black Americans, have overcome, the way we've been put in the worst conditions by far, and the way we've progressed, the way we've raised ourselves up as a community, the foundational black community, without question, is the most preeminent black community, without question. And anybody who says anything other, they are misinformed, or they're just ignorant. They could pick one of the two. Either you don't know, or you're just ignorant. One or the other. Okay? Okay? Well, not just ignorant, but let's look at it that way. You must not know. You need to go and study more if you don't agree with that. We are without a doubt the preeminent. When you think in your mind, when you think of black people, or when other people around the world think of black people, they think of us. They don't think about them. They don't think about Jamaicans. They don't think about Haitians. They don't think about Africans. They think about the foundational black Americans, or who comes to mind when you say black people. Now, let's just keep it real. And there's a reason for that. We move and shake things. We make things happen here. Okay? Now, we have for a long time let people tether on to they tether onto our greatness. They tether onto the things that makes us great. We are very welcoming to people. We outreach to people. We help people. We fight for people a lot. But these things have not progressed us as a unit. That's why we have to delineate. We have to separate us from the shenanigans that is being done by the other members in the diaspora. We have to separate ourselves from them, and this is called delineation. Okay? Now, back to this topic here. When he was talking about reparative justice, he's trying to say that everybody is included in the reparations talk. Hold on just a moment, because everybody wasn't here. Everybody wasn't here fighting for justice. Everybody wasn't here building this nation. Everybody wasn't here going through Jim Crow. Everybody wasn't here for that. So what makes him think that he can come here to our country and talk about reparative justice? We've been infiltrated by these people who think they're better than us. They think they're smarter than us. They think they can come over here and get everything that's supposed to come to us, but they don't want us to participate. I'll elaborate. When he's talking about reparative justice, he's talking about for everyone. And because he went there speaking as I guess the president of Ghana, for some reason, he feels he should be the one to speak for reparations for us here in the United States. Does that sound reasonable to anybody else? And if it sounds reasonable, let me back up a little bit. The Ghanaian president. Do you know where Ghana is? Do people know where Ghana is, first of all? Ghana is on the western side of Africa, okay? The western side of Africa. And you say, well, why are you pointing that out? Well, I'll explain. The western part of Africa is where they gathered the people who were to be dispersed in slavery. That's where they came from. And I notice I said gathered, okay? That's where they pulled the people from for slavery. All along the western seaboard, all along, especially the northwestern side of it, okay? Now you have to understand, I never say all of anything that's just not intelligent to say all of everyone or all is everybody, because that's not an intelligent thing to say. A lot of people from Africa left Africa coming here before slavery. There was people circumventing the globe before slavery. So especially in the United States, they like to teach that, oh, black people had no history here before slavery. And that's just not intelligent. That's those people who created those books. That's where their knowledge begins. But that doesn't make it our history. You understand what I'm saying? Their knowledge, the only thing they know about black people here is in the start of slavery. But our people were here on this continent hundreds and thousands of years before slavery happened, okay? Before chattel slavery happened here. But make no mistake, there was a large influx that came over here specifically for slavery. And these people, when they got here, and after slavery was enacted, they, I don't want to say mixed, they, mixed is a term, but they assimilate. There you go. They assimilated into the groups of black people that were already here, like the black Indians along the East Coast. They mingled in. They looked similar in complexion. And it was a guy called Walter Plecker who just, if you had any hue to you, he just called you Negro. They had this thing called the one drop rule back in the day, where if you had one drop of black blood, you were considered a Negro. Okay, so if you had dark skin, they just threw them all together. Okay, they captured black people. They just made them slaves, even though they had nothing to do with Africa. So there were African people here. There were black people here that were forced into slavery that weren't from Africa recently. They weren't brought over on ships, is what I'm trying to say. They weren't captured and sold over here to become slaves. There were some people that had left previously of their own accord and was here already, is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay? There was a population of black people on this place called the North American continent already here before slavery. Got it? So then when slavery started and they started bringing those ships here, they assimilated into those same groups. They just mixed them all together. Okay? They had to live amongst each other. Obviously, you living amongst people, you assimilate. And that's why all these different blends and cultures and styles that we have, all that stuff is moshed together. Okay? This is what makes us so great. We are of many. Okay? So there were what people would call the Indians that were here, that were very dark-skinned Indians, black Indians. And they mixed with these people, all of them mixed together, okay? So don't think that the beginning of our story starts with slavery, is my point. Okay, so this guy, the Ghanaian president, Goof Mahama, he wants to try to bring things to the forefront under the guise of reparations, of reparative justice he wants to say for all people. But then think, this guy is from Ghana. If he was to receive the reparations for something he had no part in, Ghana had listen, foundational black Americans were here going through the hells that we were put through The tortures, the beatings, the hangings, the systematic white supremacy, the systematic injustices that were done to our people that we had to endure in order to allow these people to even come here. Okay? To even come here. We had to go through hell. What makes him think that he can go before somebody and speak on our behalf? It's disrespectful, is my point. It's very disrespectful. He has no place speaking for us. We don't recognize him. He's not a leader of us. He's the president of Ghana. We don't need you to speak for us. We speak for ourselves very well. We don't need any assistance from you. And here's a caveat for you. Ghana participated in the slavery. Oh, well, what do you mean? I mean, they sold black people. That's what I mean. They sold black people. And because he was so forthright in coming and showing his face, speaking up at the UN, acting like he's been somehow wronged, or his nation has been somehow wronged, what he did was he put a pin in it for me. He stuck a pin in it because he knows there was an injustice done. And I don't know if he thinks that everybody is ignorant and doesn't know, but I know they participated in the slave trade because they were selling black people. Ghana was selling black people into slavery. And because he's already spoken up, he should be on the other end of the bill. He should be on the other end of the bill. Think about that. Since he sold people, and now, well, he didn't, but his country is responsible for selling black people, they should be paying into the reparations for us. They should be excluded from reparatory justice for our people here. For foundational black Americans, we need to give that bill not only to the United States government for participating, but to Ghana as well. Your president came over here and had so much to say about it, he participated in it. He participated in it. They sold black people into slavery. Do your research. They participated. Let me give you a word that I want you people to look up. Okay, this is for my younger crowd. Look this word up. Complicit. 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 Look that word up. It means involved with others in illegal activity or wrongdoing. Ghana was complicit in the slave trade. They made money off of selling us. And now that we're to the point where we're arguing and discussing for our reparations here, for him to show up and act like he's been wrong somehow, or that country's been wrong somehow, they need to be participating in giving out the reparations. They need to be held accountable. They need to, and I'm so glad he stepped forward. We appreciate you stepping forward and putting a face to it, because now we see. Now we see who participated. You were complicit in the slave trade. You were counted amongst the countries that participated. Ghana. The bill is due. The bill is due. And we appreciate you coming here putting a face to it, President. The fact that he came here and got with Al Sharpton and these other members of the Democratic Party, the mayor of New York, who if y'all haven't been paying attention to him, a little bit ago, he tried to say he was an African American. Look that up and see if I'm lying. This is why we delineate from these people. I'm not no African American. I'm a foundational black American. My people have been here from the beginning. From the beginning of this country, from its inception, my people were here. Documented. Foundational. That doesn't make it no sort of a hate group. It's just a lineage. Either your people were here at the beginning or they were not. It's that simple. It's not a leader, and it definitely isn't Al Sharpton. He's definitely not no leader. He don't speak for us. We don't recognize him as such. Okay? Here's another word. When I think about what these guys tried to pull, when I think about this garbage, and I told you they were going to try it. I told you they were going to try to speak up for reparations under our pain and suffering. And, oh, well, they're not speaking for you. Well, why did they come here? Why did he come here, come to our burial grounds of our ancestors and speak? Why did he come here and try to say it's for everybody? Because it's not. You can't be complicit in the selling of people and then try to get money on the back end as well. We're not playing that. We don't play those games. We don't respect that. We don't respect the attempt, and it adds another level of disgust as far as Al Sharpton goes for me. I'm disgusted at that he would attempt to try or put his name next to some nonsense like that. That's very disrespectful to our people here. Extremely disrespectful. They're not the leaders of us. He's not our president. We don't respect him as such. They didn't come and help us. They didn't come help us fight. We haven't seen them. And now that we're talking about getting reparations and tangible reparations, now they pop up? Oh, no. He could pop up when it's time to pay the bill. We would accept monetary compensation from Ghana. Since he knows all about the wrongs, I'm sure he knows they were complicit. Which brings to mind another word you can look up. CONSPIRACY, conspiracy. Look that up. Conspiracy. A plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. A conspiracy. That's what they're in right now. I believe it's a conspiracy. They think we're stupid. And this all started under Obama. Oh, yeah, I don't think I forgot about that lady Obama had appointed from Africa. Was she from Ghana or Nigeria? One. They thought they were going to slip that by us. No, we don't accept it. Not only do we not accept it, we reject it. It's very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Coming over here amongst our people talking about historical wrongdoings, lasting inequities and structural accountability. Yeah, accountability. Ghana needs to take responsibility for their part in the slave trade. Accountability. You're right. Speak on accountability. How about your responsibility? The responsibilities of Ghana for participating in the slave trade. Let's not leave that part out. Let's not skate over that. So Al Sharpton is taking sides with the people who sold black people into slavery. Think about that. These people don't speak for us. They don't speak for us, and we don't need them to speak for us. We've made this talk national. Our reparations has become a national talk. And these people are going to do anything they can to sidetrack that talk. And we're not going to let them. Okay, so Skinfolk Spotlight 14 is on the president of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama. Disrespectful goof from Ghana. No respect for that game. I have no respect for that backhanded stuff, all right? No respect for it, no respect for him. He is the Skinfolk Spotlight recipient. But check it out. Go back to last August and you'll see I did a show. We did a show on the African scam. And I told you that they were going to try something like this, where they're going to try to receive reparations on our behalf. And we already know how that's going to play out. These people, they ain't going to give us anything. We're not playing that. We can take care of our own money. We don't need any middlemen dealing with our reparations. We'll accept them. We can take care of our own. Thank you, but no thank you. These people think they're smart, man. Again, Lord Eric Steele, FBA all day, bringing it to you again. I'm going to keep bringing this justice, keep bringing this information to you. Keep the comments coming. I'm gonna respond to all the emails. I promise. I'm getting things back up and rolling. There's a lot coming down. We suffered a big blow. We had a lot of loss of family here recently, and I appreciate all the prayers. I appreciate all the emails. But we're back at it now. So once again, Lord Eric Steele, FBA all day out. In closing, okay, reparations